This video is brought to you by Gemmer.com, place where you can buy, sell, and trade collectibles of all kinds, uniquely for comic book fans and just lovers of pop culture in general. So go check it out, Gemmer.com, and hopefully we'll see you there. Josh here. So today I'm going to talk about basically the possible connection between Jay Garrick and Zoom in the season 2 of The Flash, because in the most recent episode, as of me recording this, it was revealed that Earth 1 Jay Garrick is actually named Hunter Zolomon. He was adopted into the Zolomon family and all that stuff. And while it doesn't sound like much to a common, viewer, a comic book fan would know that in the comics, Hunter Zolomon is the name of Zoom, who is currently the antagonist of season 2. Although this Zoom is totally different from the Zoom in comics, or at least the character in the comics that goes by the name Zoom. So this got me thinking. I was like, well, is this an Easter egg? Is this a red herring? Like, what could it be? And, everyone thinks of their theories, and for some reason, I thought about Sentry. Now, if anyone knows about Sentry from Marvel Comics, you know that Sentry is also something called the Void. He's so powerful, he basically became a foil onto himself. So there's basically two personalities, excluding the actual personality that's just, Robert Reynolds, Bob. But there's Sentry, which is basically yellow blonde Superman, and then there's the Void, which is basically like described as the angel of death. Basically, it's just pure power in the most violent, destructive manner possible. So I was thinking to myself, what if in Earth 2, when Jay Garrick became the Flash, because we know Zoom, because the things we know about the Zoom, about Zoom of Earth 2 are he is obsessed with, speed. He just seems to be this monster, Speed Force monster. We know that. No one seems to know if he was a person before he became Zoom. But we know, he appeared the same time when Jay Garrick appeared with the particle accelerator and all that good stuff. So the theory I'm proposing is, what if the CW writers took inspiration from Sentry? And basically when Jay Garrick got his powers, because we don't know exactly what happened. I mean, we know it's based off how Jay Garrick originally got his powers in the comics, but we never actually got to see it. So for all intents and purposes, it could be a situation where when he got his powers, Zoom was also born from that same accident. Basically, Zoom being a foil onto himself. Zoom being a foil to Jay Garrick. Like Jay Garrick subconsciously, through, whatever means of the Speed Force, might have actually made Zoom. Essentially in the same way that Sentry accidentally made the Void. It's a very convoluted, very confusing, process, essentially, to go explain the whole thing. But you could easily Google this to understand it much more fluently than I'm able to explain it in this short video. But my basic proposition here is, what if that's what they're doing? It would make the Hunter Zolomon thing a really cool Easter egg, but also I think it would be pretty cool. You could really spin it off to be a much bigger metaphor on fighting our inner demons, things like that, which is something that's been very heavy this season, especially with Barry. A big, demon of his being trusting people, especially after what went down with Eobard Thawne, who is posing as Wells because the real Wells is already dead, and anyone that keeps getting that confused is just being really annoying and confusing for no reason. But yeah, I think that'd be a really cool twist if they pulled out on the show, because first and foremost, it'd save the headache from casting someone that we have no connection to. I mean, if you were to do this, it'd be tragic, because we know Jay is not going to be in the next season. So it'd be really cool if they could defeat Zoom and stuff like that. And maybe, because, I mean, there's really no reason to explain why Zoom's death would result in Jay getting his powers back. There really isn't. There's no reason to not just be able to jumpstart Jay's powers. They're not really explaining the connection between the two, because obviously it's a deeper connection than we know of, if the only possible way Jay can get his speed back is capturing, killing Zoom. Because we saw with, Barry in season 1, when his powers basically got absorbed, they're able to jumpstart his powers. So basically what I'm saying here is, there must be a deeper connection here between Zoom and Jay we don't know of. And I really think this would be a cool thing. I mean, it's kind of far out there too. So, I mean, definitely, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying this is the 100% definite thing. But I am saying is that it'd be a really cool theory. If by some chance the Flash writers see this video and get inspired and decide to do a interpretation of what I just said, I think that'd be awesome. I mean, you don't really get to see that these days in, movies, TV shows. Usually they don't have the balls to do something so, such a twist like this. I'd say usually they just want to play it safe and have a character that's been the villain the whole time, things like that. They don't want to have, this kind of tragedy. of some sort. So comment below your guys' thoughts, and I'll see you guys later.